Okay, Grace Pitt, you are next, my friend.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm so
Good.
glad you're here. Okay, so where are you from?
I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Okay, all right. I talked a lot about Tampa today for some I was in various different meetings and conversations, and people from Tampa just kept coming up. So, awesome. That's great. So, have you lived in Tampa your whole life?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, my whole.
Okay. Great. Okay, well, cool. Happy you're here. And as you know, with the others, feel free, take your time, whatever you need up front, and just when you are ready, you can go ahead. And we're really thrilled to see what you do.
Oh, it's just irritable bowel syndrome and insomnia. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed at night just waiting to fall asleep and then it never happens. So then I'll go up and get ready for school as is everything is normal except I didn't fall asleep last night. And sometimes I fall asleep in class and the teacher's like, "Dory, why you fall asleep in class?" And she thinks I'm falling asleep because I think the class is boring, but I am just falling asleep because I have a medical condition. I also have a fair amount of like psychiatric problems, like depression slash anxiety. I also have a touch of ADHD. Oh, sometimes I like pick off the skin of my thumbs. And then one time I had to get 2 rows of my teeth pulled out. The holes are still there. It was like really painful, but a lot of blood. Yeah, those are all my problems. So.
I love it. That's so fun. It's a great piece for you. I happen to be in the same building as Diego, and so he's in another room, and I can hear him laughing. So that's the only bummer about our sort of family on here. We can't hear them give the laughter, but they're giving you plenty of laughter emojis. So that's really fun. So in this particular one, and again, with comedy, you think it's light and all of that, but again, we say what we feel, right? Our words are motivated by whatever we're feeling inside and and thinking. So what why is she sharing that? Who is first of all, who is she talking to?
She's talking to this one girl that she just met for the first time. And
Okay.
social kind of anxiety, it's like nice to have that person to like open up with. And it
Yes. Okay.
starts coming out.
Okay. Okay. And why is she so they're just having their like one of their first conversations?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So let's play a little bit with the pacing maybe and see kind of if that takes us somewhere. And so if this is someone you've just met, uh, start out as if you just intend to tell her one thing, and then you explain that one thing, and then you explain what you explained, that kind of a
Mhm.
thing where it's like, okay, but then I have to explain what I just said, and I have to, and then it spins off into this whole thing. So start it with more of like, you didn't open your mouth and then just pour it out all at once. You kind of started with one little tidbit you're going to share with your new friend, and then, okay, just one other little thing. Okay, well, one more thing, you know what I mean? And then let it roll. Let it just go. Get in her personal space, all of that. Let it go. Okay? All
Okay.
right. All right. Anytime you're ready.
Oh, just irritable bowel syndrome and insomnia. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed at night and act like I'm going to sleep and then it never happens.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a second. We're going to take even bigger pauses between those.
Okay.
Okay, so you're just saying irritable bowel and then give it a minute, an awkward pause.
Okay.
Oh, because you know what I mean? Like that kind of let it, in this case, you want it to get awkward for a minute. No, not a minute, that's too long. But you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Wait just long enough for it to be awkward. then chime in with the next thing. Okay. And let that happen a couple of times and then start building it and moving it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, just irritable bowel syndrome. And insomnia. Yeah, sometimes I just won't fall asleep at night. Like, I'll get into bed and just act like I'm going to sleep, and then it never happens. Yeah, and then I'll just get up and go to school the next day and act like if everything's normal, except I didn't fall asleep that night. And then sometimes the teacher's like, Dory, why didn't you fall asleep in class today? And then I'll be like, she thinks it's because I think the class is boring, but it's really because I have a medical condition. And I also, yeah, have a fair amount of like psychiatric problems, like depression/anxiety, and I think also a tad of ADHD. Yeah, sometimes I just like will peel off the skin of my thumbs, and then I also got 14 teeth pulled. It was like right here, you can still see the holes sometimes. Yeah, it's really painful, and just blood was just gushing everywhere. Yeah. And those are all my problems. So.
Good. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Now
Okay.
split the difference in those pauses, make them about half as long.
Okay.
Okay. And that was great. And then let's this time play with the idea of as you're like at some point just sort of completely laugh through these things you're naming.
Okay.
Like, yeah, just laugh through them. Like, isn't that interesting? You know, that sort of like absurd and oh, silly me, you know, kind of a approach to it. Let's just see how that plays out.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, just your irritable bowel syndrome. And insomnia. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed at night just waiting to fall asleep, and then it never happens. And then I'll just go to school the next day and act as everything is normal, except I didn't fall asleep last night. And then sometimes I'll fall asleep in class, and the teacher will be like, Dory, why are you falling asleep in class? And she thinks it's because I'm falling asleep because it's boring. But actually, it's because I have a medical condition. Who knew? And then sometimes I also have a fair amount of psychiatric problems, like depression/anxiety. I also have a tad of ADHD, and sometimes I just like pick the skin off my thumbs. And this one time, I got 14 teeth removed, and you could still see the holes right there. They're so painful, and there's just so much blood everywhere. And yeah, those are all my problems. So.
So funny. There's just so many ways you could take that. And that's part of the fun of redirecting you is because I feel like okay, now let's do it this way. Now let's do it this way. And you're really malleable in taking to that. So really fun. That was great. You're able to do humor and you're understanding the timing of that and as pretty as you are, it's so interesting you're able to bring quirk to it. And and that's golden. You know, like Sandra Bullock, stunning, right? She's beautiful, but she knows how to do like awkward and quirky and stumbling and all of those wonderful things that are just this great combination. So hold on to that and have fun with that. Use that to your advantage.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
work. Really good work. Nice job. Oh,
Bev, I just want to jump in here. I want her to see my eyes. I have tears in my eyes because I was laughing. So great job, Gracie. You are so funny. You're funny. Good job.
there you go. From the man himself.
Thank you.
Good job. Nice work. Thank you, Grace.